This is the story of the evil within. The story begins with a call to Beacon Mental Hospital regarding a mass murderer. Detectives Sebastian Castellanos, Joseph Oder, and Julie Kidman arrive to investigate. Unbeknownst to them, they are remotely transferred into STEM, with the exception of Kidman, who is aware of what's happening. What is STEM? STEM has no officially confirmed meaning as an acronym. It was created by Ruben Victoriano, later known as Ruvik, Ru plus Wick, and officially named by him. Originally, STEM was designed so Ruvik could reunite with the one person who truly loved him, his sister, Laura Victoriano. The primary function of STEM is similar to the Matrix. It links multiple minds into a single shared reality governed by one dominant consciousness. The origins of Ruvik. As a child, Ruben Victoriano was quiet, highly intelligent, and often isolated from others. He showed an intense fascination with anatomy and the human mind. His genius eventually led him to develop the concepts that would become STEM through human experimentation. Like many villains, Ruvik was not born evil. He was shaped by trauma and neglect. Ruben grew up in an extremely wealthy household. His father owned vast amounts of land and donated large sums of money to both Beacon Mental Hospital and a mysterious cult. Many local farmers resented the Victoriano family after losing their land. In retaliation, they set fire to one of the family's farmhouses, unaware or unconcerned that Ruben and Laura were still inside. The blaze quickly blocked the front entrance. The only escape route was a window above the door. In a selfless act, Laura boosted Ruben up so he could escape and seek help. Although both children survived the fire, the event effectively destroyed their lives. Laura was left in a vegetative state and died shortly afterwards. Ruben suffered severe burns and became increasingly withdrawn and hostile towards his father. In many ways, both children died in that fire. Unbeknown to their mother, Ruben's father secretly hid both Laura and the badly injured Ruben in the family basement, publicly declaring them dead. After Laura's death, Ruben's resentment finally reached a breaking point. Burdened by years of secrecy and abuse, he murdered both of his parents and staged the crime as a motor vehicle accident. Beacon Mental Hospital and Human Experimentation. The exact number of people Ruvik experimented on is unknown. At some point after his parents' deaths, a doctor named Marcelo Jimenez discovered the scarred young Ruben. Despite his appearance, Marcelo immediately recognized his brilliance. Rather than helping him, Marcelo subjected Ruben to further abuse and experimentation. When Ruben inherited his family's fortune, he struck a deal with Marcelo. In exchange for large donations to Beacon Mental Hospital, Ruben would receive access to as many test subjects as he desired for his research. Without Ruvik's permission, Marcelo eventually published findings based on Ruvik's work on the human brain. These discoveries attracted the attention of a secret organization. Recognizing the potential for mass mind control, the organization began heavily funding the STEM project. Throughout Ruvik's experiments, numerous people disappeared or were killed while investigating the truth behind the beacon. The nature of the haunted, the game's common enemies, remains open to interpretation. They may be remnants of previous victims whose minds remain trapped within the STEM. are living test subjects whose minds have been twisted and enslaved by Ruvik. Either explanation reinforces the horrific consequences of the experiments. Over time, tensions grew between Ruvik and the organization funding his research. Eventually, they deemed him a liability. Ruvik was forcibly connected to stone and reduced to nothing more than a preserved living brain. His consciousness became the central core of the system. However, the organization made a critical mistake. Ruvik was still alive. Within STEM, he became a godlike entity capable of reshaping reality itself. He used this power to torment and destroy nearly everyone sent into the machine as punishment for his imprisonment, with one important exception. Leslie Weathers, the perfect host. At the beginning of the game, a sharp electronic noise can be heard inside the police vehicle. This suggests that Marcelo remotely activated STEM and pulled everyone nearby into the system. The organization's true goal was not simply to investigate Beacon. They wanted to retrieve Leslie Weathers. Like Ruvik, Leslie experienced severe childhood trauma and lost his family at a young age. As a result, their brain patterns were remarkably similar. Years of experimentation at Beacon left Leslie unstable and distrustful of others, but his unique neurological compatibility made him the ideal vessel for Ruvik's consciousness. Throughout the game, enemies rarely attempt to harm Leslie. This appears to be intentional as Ruvik is protecting his future host from any damage. As time passes, Ruvik gains increasing influence over everyone trapped inside STEM. Eventually, Leslie reaches the false version of Beacon Hospital. There, Ruvik kills Leslie's consciousness and transfers himself into Leslie's body, allowing him to escape STEM and return to the real world. Although Ruvik dominates STEM, he is not the sole influence over its world. The environment, enemy design, locations, and reality shifts are all influenced by the memories, fears, and psyches of everyone connected to the system. This explains many of the surreal and constantly changing events throughout the game. The exact relationship between the real world and STEM remains intentionally ambiguous, leaving much open to interpretation. The secret organization selected all three detectives for a specific reason. Sebastian Castellanos. Sebastian had begun investigating the suspicious death of his daughter and her babysitter, who supposedly died in a house fire. His wife later disappeared while pursuing the same investigation. Sebastian's determination brought him dangerously close to uncovering the organization's secrets. Joseph Oda. Joseph believed Sebastian's story and helped investigate the growing number of disappearances and unexplained incidents. He also questioned why so many investigations were abruptly shut down. This made him a threat as well. Julie Kidman. Kidman was secretly working for the organization. Her role was to act as a mole, monitor Sebastian and Joseph, misleading them when necessary, and determine how much they knew about the conspiracy. Without spoiling The Evil Within 2, this covers the majority of the lore presented in this game. Most of this information is not delivered directly through cutscenes. Instead, players piece together the narrative through scattered notes, environmental storytelling, and brief scenes encountered throughout the game. The result is a complex psychological horror story centered on trauma, identity, manipulation, and the consequences of playing God with the human mind.